So, this Mother's Day, I want to do something special for my mom. I have never blogged anything like a video blog or anything before. I don't know if I've even done an actual blog up for or not. I have a card for her, but I haven't written a poem yet, and I thought this year that this might be a little bit more special. And I don't really know where to start from, because I know I sound really boring and probably a monotone, which she's no doubt used to by now. But it's only natural. She always laughs when I say that. My mom had me when she was 21, and I feel like I'm going to start crying already. There's such a history there, you know, with things that happen with my dad and stuff, and that's something that I don't really want to get into. But what I will say is the fact that my mother is my strength, and she is just, I mean, I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for her. She saved me so many times, on so many occasions, just from so many things and people, and sometimes even from myself and everything. It's one of those things where you really have to look at the people in your life and say, okay, you know, these are just people that are there, and then there's those ones that really make a difference. And nobody's better than your mother. And anybody out there that has a bad relationship with your mother, I feel really bad, because it's just, it's terrible to see something like that. And anybody who doesn't have their mother because they passed away, I also feel sorry, you know, for you, because I mean, I couldn't even imagine that. I know my grandmother's going to have a hard time, and she has been having a hard time after the loss of my great-grandmother. So, I mean, it's life, but it's hard to deal with. And, but my father didn't want me. Not really. I don't think that he ever really loved me completely, and my mother was the one who took care of me. She changed my diapers, she fed me, she worked really hard to be able to keep me with everything that I needed. And he just didn't, and everything. He didn't want bothered, he didn't want to buy like formula or anything, he didn't want to do anything. And there were a lot of times that he just left her with me, you know, and she stuck it out. She stayed with it, and she gave her all and everything to make sure that I had everything that I needed, and went without, you know. I know there were times that she's told me, you know, that she just didn't get to eat and everything. Mothers say about always having a cold meal and everything. Well, there were times I know my mother didn't eat at all for different meals and stuff, because she had to make sure and everything that I was taken care of. And some women have babies and they don't care, you know, it's just like, so what? And my mother wasn't like that. She made me her priority. She made me the person and everything that was number one in her life and everything, because she knew and everything that I needed her. And that's what disgusts me with a lot of these mothers that just want to go out and run around. They want to just, okay, well, here, you can go to grandma and I'll pick you up later. I mean, my mother didn't do that. The only time that my grandparents had me was when my mother had to work and everything. And my mother worked. She didn't go out drinking and everything, and all this and that, or going shopping and stuff and everything. She had me and everything there and everything. And when she had to work, I went to my grandparents' house. And when I wasn't there, I was with my mom. She sacrificed and gave an awful lot up to make sure that I had. And I wish that a lot of mothers that might see this and everything, I wish you'd do that for your kids instead of running around, because you chose to have a child and everything. That child didn't just say they wanted to come and everything. You chose that and everything, and that was your choice. But to get to the main reason for this, because a lot of people are probably disgusted by now that I haven't said enough and everything, maybe and everything, I just want to say that my mother is beautiful inside and out. She is not only the giver of my life and my sister's, but she's just so much more than that. And I thought about this, I think I thought about this either last night or this morning, really early this morning. I think it was last night. I should have got up and did this then, because a lot of this stuff has left my mind already. But, I don't know, she just... There's just something about her that makes her, I don't know, so unique. And I don't really know how to put it even into words, and I think that's what makes it so special, is because my mother is just not the typical person that you can just label as one thing. She's a mixture of a lot and everything. She's a jack of all trades and everything, and she can fix a lot of stuff because she had to, because my dad didn't want bothered, and he was not mechanically capable of doing a lot of stuff. He just wasn't good with it and everything. So my mother was the one and everything that was out there, you know, fixing the lawnmower and putting stuff together and different stuff and everything. So I mean, that it really makes a difference when you have to do it, and I think that was necessary. And I don't know, she's overcome so much, and right now she's alone, and I mean, we live here, my sister and I, but I know my mother would like to find somebody special in her, have somebody special in her life, and I wish she could, because she really deserves it. She's been put through an awful lot, and I don't know. It's always been my mom and I. Before my sister, it's like when my sister came along, I didn't even want her to come home from the hospital. I was hoping my mom wouldn't bring her home. I had such a fit, because it's always been mom and I and everything. And it's like, it's hard when you go for 5 years, you know, and it's like a 5 years difference between my sister and I, and then all of a sudden this baby comes along, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, you know, I'm not top priority anymore. But I know that's why my mom and I are so close, and we've had our spats, we've had our falling outs an awful lot in the past, and I hope that's over, you know, for the most part, because I don't want to lose my mom. I remember so many times that I bawled when I didn't know where she was, and I worried. I mean, even if she just like stayed over late at work for one reason or another, I was worried about her. You know, because I knew she needed to be there and everything, and that's something that I had to kind of work through. But I don't know, she's just a part of me. She really is, and I owe her such a sum that I'll never be able to pay it off. You know, it's just one of those things that I owe her so much, because I know that if it weren't for her, I mean, if I would have had been left with my dad, I know I wouldn't even be here right now. If he wouldn't have killed me and everything, I probably would have killed myself, because that's just the way that my dad was. That's the person that he is. You know, he's a monster. He really is. And for her to have to go through that and to be able to survive something like that, I know my mom can survive anything. And just to give of herself as much as she has, you know, she stretched herself so thin and would give you the shirt off her back if you needed it. That's just the kind of person that she is. And I just want her to know that I'm just so thankful for her, and that she really is a blessing, and I would do anything for her, because she's so worth it. And you've been my mom now for 27 and a half years and everything, 28 in October here, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't want it any other way. And I mean, my grandmother is my second mother, and she always will be my second mommy and everything, but nobody can hold a candle to my mother, and that'll never change. And I've always told her, you know, I just hope someday that I could be even just half the woman that she is, because that would be awesome. But This is too long now. Nobody's going to want to watch it. I don't know if I can even post it on Facebook. I wanted to try to do a poem off the top of my head. I don't know if I could or not. I don't know. I'm not going to do it right now. It's late. And I don't know if this is even going to post or not. But to all the mothers out there, and to all the grandmothers, and to anybody that takes care of children and everything that's a woman, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. And I pray that you have a good one, and that you know just how special you are, because just the pain of birth, which I've never been through, but I just imagine, it's so painful, and all the things that you have to do and the sacrifices you make. I mean, it's just one of those things that unless you're a mother you don't fully understand it. But I know just from seeing what my mom's went through and everything that, I mean, you have your work cut out for you, and you guys are all awesome, and God bless all of you. And yeah, so just enjoy your day, and Mom, I love you so much, and I pray for so many more Mother's Days with you, and I pray for your happiness and everything, and that you just know how truly loved you are, and take care everyone. God bless, and good night.